We see this. We see that you're showing people up, you're hyping everything up, but that's cool. But guess what? We're gonna shut you up. And it has nothing to do with who you are or what your race is or nothing like that. It's just the fact that we go shut you up. Now, how did you feel in the Super Bowl when Kansas City lost? And I want to say it was a play that got broken up when y'all played Tampa Bay, and the safety threw the deuces up to Tyreek Hill. Remember that?
Mm-hmm.
That's his own celebration. And when you have a celebration, you have players that'll use that celebration on you if they make a play on you or they get the best of you. That just goes with the territory. When Cam Newton was doing the Superman and San Francisco beat him and Colin Kaepernick scored a touchdown, Kaepernick did the Superman on Cam Newton. Everyone was doing Cam Newton Superman to flex on him, right? All of this stuff, right? Everyone who has a celebration that's a signature celebration or something that you normally do, when I get the best of you, I'm going to throw that in your face.
Absolutely.
And that's how I saw what Reese did, even though it was with 9 seconds left in the game and the game was already decided, and the girl walked away and Reese was like, you go get this work. You trying to walk away so you can't see this. I'm going to make you see this because we had to see you do it all tournament and all year long. I'm going to make you see this. So I'm going to walk up close to you so you can see this because you've been trying to avoid it. I tried to do that free throw line.
Yeah.
You acting like you can't see it.
Get it.
Yeah, you
I would have gave him
it.
a finger though, nigga. I get it.
You go get
this your punk ass.
Right. So after that happened, here comes everyone in social media, and this is what even crossed the line even more. I seen people call her a monkey. I said, they said it was monkey activity. I seen someone call her an effing idiot. And this person was a former ESPN employee that did that, not just a regular fan. I seen the dude that owns Barstool Sports come out and say it was classless. Like all of these, and then she got to the podium and said, listen, I've been called hood, ghetto, and all of this stuff all season long. I've been hearing it. And she said, I even heard it even back in high school. I've been hearing it. Right? You want me to fit in this box? I don't fit in that box. But now you're calling me names and all this stuff. That's crazy. So that's how I looked at the whole thing. What's your whole assessment on it?
Hey man, honestly, bro, it's part of the game, and she don't fit in that box, and nor should she have to fit in the box. She should be who she is. Talking crap is part of the game. You know what I mean? Especially in our culture. Hell, I can't even play shit cards with my kids sometimes because it might get out of hand.
Yeah.
Or play a basketball game or football, just certain things I do with my sons. Sometimes I have to remind myself that, like they kids, man. Like you ain't gotta, go so hard on them or vice versa. You know what I mean? But it's part of the game, man. And it's part of the culture. And nor should she have to conform to anything, bro. She should play her game, and if she wins, she get to talk her stuff. She get to do the John Cena. She get to point her finger. She get to wear a crown because that's what she do. That's her thing.
Yeah, I agree, man. Like I didn't even talk to you about this beforehand. I didn't know what your thoughts was gonna be on it. But most of the people that had something to say about it, that was different from what our perspective is. They were saying that it was different when Caitlyn did it because she did it during the game. She did it in the heat of the battle. I kept hearing that word or that phrase in the heat of the battle. And I kept hearing that Angel Reese was stalking her to taunt her after the game. And they said that's what crossed the line.
I mean, at the end of the day, bro, I mean, you're going to have critics, you know what I mean? But it's just our society, man. It's our society. We live in a society that, caters to white privilege, unfortunately. You know what I mean? It's just our society. So, yeah, we might have laughed when she did it, but now, Reese does it, and it's considered ghetto. It's the devaluation of, black women and black athletes as a whole. Just like the shut up and play.
Yeah. Shut up and dribble, all that.
Shut up and play ball. We don't need you to talk.
Yeah.
There used to be a saying a long time ago probably around my grandfather's time period when they used to say, nigga sing, nigga dance, nigga die. You know what I mean? Nigga jump, nigga sing, nigga dance, nigga die. You know what I mean? And so that was the mindset, bro. You know what I mean? Nigga, that's all we want you to do is nigga sing, nigga jump, nigga play sport.
Yeah.
Entertain me, nigga. You know what I'm saying?
Entertain, right? And then if you stay inside the box where it's comfortable for everyone, where you make us come, because for some reason whenever we get outside the box, it makes everybody uncomfortable. Like, you know, I mean, Reese a big girl, she's tall, you know, she look like she might be 6'2", I don't know, 6'3".
Yeah, I think she's 6'3", bro.
Yeah.
And I looked her up, man. I didn't even know who she was, right? I was rooting for LSU because I felt like LSU was the underdogs coming into the game. A lot of people wanted Iowa, and you know, Iowa was kind of, you know, bulldogging people out in the tournament. So
yeah, I never seen LSU as the underdog 100%. I didn't, man. I think Iowa caught South Carolina on a bad day. They was undefeated.
Right.
You know what I mean? I think they done won the last 2 national championships. That's a B squad, man. Don Staley is a good coach. They caught them on a bad day. They had a good game plan, and it was a good day for Caitlin Clark, man. They had no answer for her. So yeah, I didn't see them beating LSU at all. But what I was getting at is the comfort level of non-blacks, especially in like corporate America and in the entertainment business and whatnot. You know, it's that box that she was talking about during her press conference. It's a box that if we fit in that box, it's comfortable for everyone. And when we step outside of that box, everyone gets uncomfortable. For some reason, I can't really put my finger on it. And seeing any type of aggression from a black athlete, even if it's a student athlete or a professional, seeing aggression toward a person that's not of color, it just makes it just inferior. It feels personal for people that's not black people. I'm gonna play what Coach Staley said at her press conference after they lost to Iowa, and they asked her about how they was talking about her players, because the story on South Carolina and her players has been that they were bullies, and amongst other things, and she go get to it.
Other coaches, your colleagues, have sitting in that spot and talked about you all being bullies. What's the truth about your team?
The truth about our team, okay? It's a good question, okay? We're not bar fighters. We're not thugs. We're not monkeys. We're not street fighters. This team exemplifies how you need to approach basketball on the court and off the court. And I do think that that's sometimes brought into the game, and it hurts. Okay. And I do think that some of I'm gonna say it because I said I was gonna say it, whether we lost or whether we won. Some of the people in the media, when you're gathering in public, you're saying things about our team and you're being heard, and it's being brought back to me. Okay? And these are the people that write nationally for our sport. So you can not like our team. Okay, you can not like me. But when you say things that you probably should be saying in your home, on the phone, or texting out in public, and you're being heard, and you are a national writer for our sport, it just confirms what we already know. So watch what you say when you're in public and you're talking about my team in particular.
So this is before the national championship game. She had already been talking about during the Final Four how she's been hearing all this. And, you know, she's been hearing it probably before that. She's been hearing it for the last 2-3 years. They're winning, they're dominant. and they got a certain style of play that we know all too well, coming from the culture that we come from and playing around the neighborhoods that we play in. You know what type of style of play it is. But if you can take that to the NBA or the NCAA or high school, and you can play within the rules, why do they have to label people as what she was saying, thugs, bar fighters, bullies, monkeys, things of that nature? Why do they have to label these student athletes with those type of labels? And not to mention, a lot of people took to Twitter to air out some of their grievances during what was going on during the Final Four, and they said a lot of Iowa fans were in the stands throwing out racist slurs and stuff like that, and even outside the stadium when the team was coming in off the bus or whatever, they was hearing those racial slurs as well. Like this stuff has been building up, so it's a whole bunch of racial tension, right?
So my thing is, it's always been that, bro. That's nothing new. I'll tell a quick story. My son was playing. They were playing for the CIF championship a couple years ago, and I think they were playing a school called, I think it was Steel Canyon. And of course, Oceanside had a reputation of being a hood school, unquote, quote unquote. All my sons went there, and they didn't really have any problems. All three of them went there and graduated, didn't have any problems. But it was labeled as a hood school. Now, at halftime, Steel Canyon was winning, and they was doing all the chanting and waving by and all that kind of stuff. Now, Oceanside comes back, wins the game. All the players went on the field, waved goodbye to the opposing team. We was at their home field, waved bye to them, and there was a bunch of ruckus, basically saying that if we kept doing that our playoff was going to get canceled, and we was going to get disqualified and all kind of stuff. So there was none of that chatter when they were winning. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
So I think at the end of the day, man, it's part of the culture, and winning solves everything.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's crazy. What you just described is pretty much exactly what happened with this. Like, you get a gesture, I guess you get a gesture towards you or toward other players. In Caitlin's case, she had been doing this gesture toward other players continuously. And then when the player does it back to them in retaliation, that's the one that they call foul on.
Exactly. And that's the devaluing of black people, black athletes. That's just the way of the world. So the media influencers, the people on TV, whoever, they got to kind of check themselves when they make those comments, because I think at the time, man, people are just making emotional comments. They're not even really thinking about what they saying. They just saying it because that is what's trending on Twitter at the time.
Right. So you said emotional comments. Now, here's the question that people don't want to deal with. Why is their emotion involved in this particular game? And you get what I'm saying? Because it's obvious when you come to Twitter and you call a 20-year-old girl a effing idiot or a monkey, that's personal.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying? Like that's not a analysis. That's not you saying, hey, look, man, I love the sport. I'm trying to provide some type of guidance or I'm advising. That you're not doing none of that. You didn't come out and say, hey, congratulations to LSU. However, for my taste, I would have liked to see X, Y, and Z from Angel Reese. Right? That's not what you said. You came out, shared the link of her pointing to her ring finger, and your caption was effing idiot, right? Or this is classless. She has no class. Win like you've win like you've been there before. Shout out to Iowa for having class and their mom raising them right. You get what I'm saying? These are the things that you're saying. That's personal. So the only time you get personal is when a nerve is struck or your feelings are hurt. So the real question to people that were saying things like that and who agree with it is, why was your nerve struck? And for you, what do you say to that? Why do you think that nerve was struck?
at the end of the day, man, like I said, winning solves everything, man. Since the beginning of sports, the starter sports, we weren't even allowed to play, college ball. We weren't even allowed to be on that national stage like that for a long time. Now you invite the black athlete into the, into the competition, and we're pretty much dominant at everything we do. We just ain't, they even calling the black soccer players from Africa to go win it for them. So you know what I mean? So I don't think it's the devalue. We won. Everybody's feelings is hurt. There used to be a thing. You remember the quote?
Eric? Why? That's what I'm trying to get at.
Hey, you remember the great white hope, the great white hype, all predominantly white Iowa team against a bunch of black girls from LSU. The girl got her baby hair plastered down on her forehead, eyelashes on.
She out there just looking like
hey, stunting.
They out there listening to rap music and
out there listening to rap music. Hey, it got one. What's that? The one little the tight pants leg on and one off.
Yeah.
The whole swagger of it, man. So I enjoyed it, man. But
it's not. It's it's a particular demographic of people who that is not their cup of tea. That's not their taste.
No, man. Those people do not want to see you go out there and win like that and celebrate like that and do what you do. But it's just part of the culture. It's just what we do. Like, it may not be your cup of tea. You might want to turn the channel. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah,
you know what I mean?
I would recommend that.
It may not be your cup of tea, and you may have your own personal feelings about it. And I would never, have my kid do that. But that's not your culture, so you wouldn't understand it.
Right. And it's okay for them not to understand it, and it's okay for that not to be their cup of tea. But the verbal attacks, because you I don't know, I guess your feelings was hurt or
hey man, look, you supposed to be less than me. How you gonna beat me in the game that I created?
Well, I don't
How you gonna beat me in the game I created?
Well, I will say this. So the reason why I kind of preferenced it the way I did at the beginning is that we all celebrated Caitlin Clark.
Absolutely. Hey.
When,
man, look.
At the end of the day, exactly. At the end of the day, it comes down to basketball, and we don't care what flavor or what brand you bring to the table. We like good basketball,
right?
You get what I'm saying? So, Caitlin Clark plays the game in a way I like to see it played, but so does Angel Reese. I like all, like, however basketball can be played. I like it if it's good basketball.
Exactly. I like the girl, the girl that came off the bench, the senior with the little blonde. I forgot her name.
Carson.
Man,
hooping,
killing it, bro. She was hitting it everywhere, hitting it all over the court, falling in the. Oh man, she was killing it, bro.
Yeah,
I love to see it.
Yeah, but we celebrated all. We
right.
celebrated, and we still celebrate, and going to continue to celebrate the heck out of Caitlin Clark.
Right. When the game was over, I said, man, that's a bad. Nobody got no issues with her. I don't even think the LSU players have any issues with her. It's a video of one of the LSU players, the point guard, going to go see backstage behind the locker room, going to go see Caitlin Clark just to meet her for the first time, and she was starstruck. This is a player before the game, right? That came out. That video came out. It's floating around, right? So these players respect her, like her, all of that good stuff, man. But I did have an axe to grind because it's a chip on our shoulder for the fact that, hey, look, you've been showboating, we go shut you up. That's fine. If it was a black player with that attitude toward another black player, it wouldn't look funny, and it wouldn't strike no nerves. Right.
You get what I'm saying? Like,
but it's always been that. You remember the Magic and Larry Bird beef they had back in the day.
Yeah.
So that's just part of, Larry didn't really do too much talking. Larry just went out there and played. And who? You know what I mean? If he lost, he lost. If he won, he won. He just played the game.
And I don't think it was racial for even at that point in time. I thought it was just basketball for them, right? But for the people that was rooting for each side,
right, it became racial.
The racial component was there, and I think that's the same thing that's here. The LSU and the Iowa players, I don't think they have any issues with them just because of the color of their skin or their background or how they grew up. They, real recognize real, and they respect a hooper when they see one. But but the fact that Iowa was a predominantly white basketball team, and it was vice versa for LSU, and then the Iowa as a state is kind of mirror what the team mirrors. It kind of turned into that, and then on top of that, you add the best basketball player in college is a white girl, and I think and I don't want to speak for people, so correct me if I'm wrong, but I think they felt a sense of pride in her and what she was about to do, what she was doing, beating these teams, right? And they felt a sense of pride, and the fact that extreme high that they was feeling got turned into extreme low by them, losing the way they did in the finals, and then showboating on her. That felt personal, and that's why they lashed out. That's why people.
Yeah, but that's their own insecurities and their own personal issues that they got with themselves. You can't really account for that. You know what I mean? You gotta kind of let that go. You know what I mean? Hey, and like somebody, I think it's Chris, say ain't no fun when the rabbit got the gun. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Ain't no fun when the rabbit got the gun. So what happens is, man, somebody's already have racial, issues, racial ideology that devalues Black people, that have those type of thoughts. And the only difference is that they just come out and verbally say it. Yeah, look at they're so classless. Look at them.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah,
like I said though, winning cures everything. You know what I mean? Keep winning. But the fact that Angel Reese feel like she got to go speak for herself on the podium, and then she got to go to Twitter and keep rubbing it in, is because she keep getting these fans, and they're just not fans. Some of these people are blue check Twitter holders. These like Keith Olbermann, the former ESPN analyst. Like, how the heck you come out and say what you said, man, and then double down, which is crazy. And I can't respect any person that's going to tell me, this is classless. And then like in Keith Olbermann's case, he didn't know that Caitlyn had done the same thing 2 days earlier. And once he came out and said what he said on Twitter, and when people reminded him, hey, Caitlyn did the same thing, he had to then turn and say, well, she's wrong too, because it's, which is cool. I'd rather you say they both wrong than say one is wrong and one is acceptable and one is not. I'd rather you say, okay, they're both unacceptable. But then if you say they're both unacceptable, I want to check your record and see whenever Dame Lillard hit the 3-pointer in PG-13 face and celebrated after the buzzer and hit the Dame time and did everything he did on the court and all that stuff and rubbed it in. Or when Richard Sherman ran up to Tom Brady and said, why you mad, bro, after the game, or Richard Sherman going to the podium and talking to Crabtree saying, you go put a sorry receiver like Crabtree on me. Of course, y'all, that's why y'all going home. Like, these are things that was going on after the fact. Juju Smith-Schuster going to Twitter, talking trash to the Philadelphia players and AJ Brown. Like, the trash talking goes on after the match in a lot of cases. And if I didn't see Keith Olbermann come out on Twitter and call it classless or call them effing idiots, I shouldn't see it now. You get that makes sense? Right. They don't got a problem when we do it to each other though. You know what I mean? They really don't got a problem. I don't think in the NBA. I think when it's college ball, man, so many people like college ball. Think about how many people's in Iowa. Not a lot of them look like you. Right. Not a lot of them look like Angel Reese, right? So, there's a lot of those people that was rooting for their team, as well as others around the country. And not only did they beat them, they stunted on them. They threw everything they did throughout the tournament back up in their face. I just think that they took it